So we've got this triangle in 3D off the exam review, right? That's where we're at right now. Its one side length is 6, and then 4 and 3. Okay. This is just the picture. Okay. So, do I see any right angles? Sine or cosine law. And then your next question is, do I have any brother-sister pairs? Brother-sister pairs are side length angles opposite of one another. Do you see any pairs? Okay, so we're stuck. You have no angles. So this is one of the other instances where you're going to use cosine law when you don't have any angles, okay? And you have a version of cosine law that lets you solve for the angle. Okay? So I don't know which one you want to solve for. We can label this. Remember, you always have the choice of how to label the triangle. Oh, maybe not. It said A. You can do whatever you want though.
Solve for cosine C.
I don't know. You can do this. Let's do this one. Here's what we got. Okay, I'm going to run through this again because some of you are going to need to do this. Okay, maybe. I'll give you one form of cosine law. And if I'm feeling really nice, I'll give you 2.
On the test, you mean?
Yes. Or easy.
Well, I'm confused. What are we talking about?
The equation of cosine law.
So you're telling us we need to memorize it?
No, I'll give you one of them. I'll give you this one.
You can make the other one out of this one.
I know. That's what I was getting at by saying it depends how nice I'm feeling. Or how nicely you guys have been working, how much work you've been doing. Okay. That I will give you. I'll put that on your test today. Okay. Now, that is for a side length. That's solving for a side length. I don't need to solve for a side length in this question. I need to solve for an angle. The angle's way over here. How do I get the angle by itself? Isolate for it. Right? So I'm just going to isolate for cosine A. You've already seen this. I'm just doing it again. Okay. A squared minus b squared minus c squared is equal to negative 2bc cosine A. Then you can divide both sides by negative 2bc. The negative 2bc's cancel. Cosine of A, what you're looking for, is equal to a squared minus b squared minus c squared divided by negative 2bc. Okay? You've already seen that. That's where it comes from. Now I can solve for the angle by plugging in all of the information. Do I see any angles on the right side of this question, on this equation? It's all side lengths. Cosine law always works. So plug in the numbers. I would, if I were you, just because I've seen some funny things from you guys, label each of these things, each of the side lengths. Then they just go into each piece, right? So cosine A equals a squared. It's going to be 4 squared minus 3 squared minus 6 squared minus 2 times b is 3 times c is 6. 16 minus 9 minus 36 divided by negative 2 times 3 is negative 6 times 6 should be negative 36 in the bottom. Any issues? Let's do the math. Is anyone going to do this? Please do not. Don't do that. Don't do that, please.
You can only do that when you're multiplying.
Yes, you can only do that when you're multiplying. That is a series of 3 subtraction statements. Please do not do this. Oof. Sarah?
Isn't the A angle on the other side when you put B?
Yeah, you can choose to label this whatever you want.
Okay.
Just so long, like, just for sake of simplicity. So that if I give you the a squared equals b squared plus c squared, you can label the triangle how you want so that it matches. What's important is that, like, the little letters go opposite of the big letters. That's the only thing that you cannot change, okay? What corner you call what doesn't matter that much. Okay? Okay. So let's get a number. What's 16 minus 39, or sorry, 16 minus 9 minus 36? Does anybody have a number for the top? Negative 20, negative 29? Okay, and then divide negative 29 by negative 36. What decimal number are we getting?
0.845.
Okay, so is that an angle? Or is that basically useless to me as it currently stands? It's useless. It needs to be an angle, so you can do one of 2 things. Go find this number, or as close to it as you can get on the trig table, and read off the angle for A. Or yesterday I showed you, you can type in second function cosine of that. It will give you the angle. Okay. The trig table always works as long as your angle that you're looking for is less than 90. If you start getting above 90, I'm sure there's a trig table for it, but it's just not the one I gave you. Okay, so you might have to use your calculator in those instances, like yesterday's quiz or something. Yesterday's quiz where we had the cosine of 120, that wasn't on your table, so you had to type it into your calculator. Yeah, no, both, I guess. Okay. What's that angle? Okay. Good. This question asks for what, though? If you have it open. All the angles. So we're not done yet. Here's my next question. Are you going to do that again? No, please don't. You can. Please don't, though. What do you have now? A brother-sister pair. I don't know why I call them brother-sister pairs. It just is what it is. Sure. Sine law. Which one do you want to solve? So I can write out sine law now. Let's write out sine law. Sine A over A is equal to sine B over B is equal to sine C over C. Okay? I know both of angle A and side length A now, so I can plug them both into this piece here. Right? So we can do that. Let's do that. I'm going to get the sine of 36 over 4, and that's going to be equal to, now, if this wasn't just some random triangle that I said solve on, and it was a word problem, you would make a decision at this point as to what you wanted to solve for. Like yesterday when we talked about some of you solving for the distance between person 2 and the kite. That's not what the question asked for. The question asked for the distance between the 2 people. That's a different side length. So it matters in that situation which trig ratio, or not trig ratio, which side length and angle you choose to solve for. With this one, it doesn't matter because it's just a triangle. It just says solve. So we can do whatever we want. So we can solve for, I don't know, let's solve for angle B. Okay, up here at the top. Okay, we'll solve for angle B. So we're going to type in sine of B. I don't know what angle B is, but I know what side length B is. It's 3. Okay. We cross multiply. we're gonna get 4 sine B is equal to 3 sine 36. Divide both sides by 4. Okay, then the 4's drop out. You're left with the sine of B is equal to 3 times. Does anybody know what the sine of 36 is?
0.5877.
Okay, and that's divided by 4. Does anybody get a number? Zero 0.44? Okay, that's perfect. Is that useful? That's not an angle. We don't have 0.44 degrees. That's not a thing. I mean, it could be a thing, but it's not. I'm not going to give you a question like that. So, what are we going to need to do? We need to get the angle. Where do I get the angle from? Go find that decimal on the trig table. Read off the angle. What do we get for angle B? What's it equal to? What is it? $26.1?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay. Am I done yet? Nope, we gotta solve for one more angle. Are you gonna do that again? No. Don't do it, please. What do you have in your toolkit? Don't do that. We've already said you're not doing that again. We're gonna do 180 minus 36 minus 26.1. That's equal to angle C. $117. Well, we'll call it 118. How about that? Any questions? If in doubt, use cosine law. It will always work. Do not use it for right angle triangles though. Oof. Yes, Justice?
I was gonna say, well, what if you're always in doubt?
No, we have a bigger problem. Okay. So we got that down? I'll pull it up again.